for me, when people say I'm not a feminist, I'm like, I don't think you even know anything about the term, which is fine. But I think for the lay understanding in our everyday lives, I always feel that a feminist is someone who doesn't just believe in equality, but first recognizes that our world has been unequal forever when it comes to gender. And the fact is that there are that men and women have not been equal historically. And so if that needs to be corrected, the first thing is to first recognize the inequality and then recognize how all to correct it. And because that inequality has been in society, in law, in culture, in social practice, so we must strive for equality there as well. So whether it's the the movement to get the vote, to get property rights, to get the rights to not to for a mother and a single mother to be the parent of her child legally, which in some countries is still not, it's not there.
Yeah.
And then of course, there's the daily life ka feminism, which we all talk about in Bollywood, in the media industry. This very in glossy magazines, which is, it's all about choice and it's all about, and I feel, yeah, it is all about choice. But sometimes, because we live in this world, a woman may make a choice which is actually anti-feminist. So if a woman is choosing to sacrifice her own personal happiness and is choosing to harm herself, for example, in some way, or make herself less equal than a man, I don't see that as a
No, but men also
choice.
do that, na? Men also
do that.
choose, they choose wrong. Sometimes they sacrifice for their parents or for their family.
Absolutely. Actually, that's absolutely correct, because I feel that feminism is as much, a movement for men to lose the burden of, that masculinity, कि मैं घर का provider हूँ और मैं मर्द हूँ. And I've always felt that, why should the poor, especially Indian boys, especially elder sons, this pressure of providing for the parents and for the family. I've seen this among some of my friends.
They've been brought up like that.
It affects your career choices. It affects everything in your life.
Yeah.
So I actually see feminism as a very, it's something that's personal. And it's also something that I feel you can constantly reinvent, learn about. And I know there's some actresses who say, I'm not a feminist. But if you look at their choices, their life choices, you are like the biggest feminist ever to me. And Kareena is a good example. Kareena hates categories. She doesn't like, remember, I think we were talking about it once on V-Ready Wedding Shoot. She doesn't like being, identified by a category, which is fine.
Me too. I don't know what, for me, feminism is to become stronger myself.
Remember, so you, to me, are a feminist icon because you've lived your life. You've made your own path in a time which was very hostile for women to make independent choices, whether it was in your personal life. I mean, I think that is nothing short of revolutionary in a society like India. And the way you've conducted yourself in a very sort of dignified, stable, rational manner, it's just, so to me, all your choices, whether it is your personal life, whether it is your acting life, the fact that you reinvented yourself, became a director, wrote for TV, had that whole other life, to me, you're a feminist. It's okay to, and in my mind, if you don't want to be called that, I'm cool with that.
But okay, you call me anything, I'm okay with that. But what you were saying about feminism initially is equality.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel that whosoever made this world, God, हम कहते हैं, he never made man and women equal.
Right.
Biologically, we are not equal.
Yeah.
We are not. And sometimes so I say that things can only improve for women when men start having kids. Because that is the crux of the whole thing.
Yeah.
If there is a zabardasti ka sex, then who gets affected? Women, na? Man doesn't get pregnant. That's what I always, that's why I gave you this tape, this topic that I don't know, I get very confused because we are not made equally. Our body is different.
That's true. But I just always feel that, for me, when I think about that, I just feel that, but what is the point of being civilized and being in a modern world and being, फिर तो जंगल में ही रहना चाहिए था हमें. हम जंगल से निकले ही क्यों? Because the whole human impulse is to actually better what the natural condition and our natural instincts have been. I mean, for me, that way, nothing is everything about human civilization is something where we've constructed, gone out of our natural instinct and tried to better
Survival,
ourselves.
na? Basically survival.
Yeah, but
So some people will survive better.
yeah,
Some people will say नहीं बस इतना ही अब मेरे को दो रोटी मिल जाए तो ठीक है. कुछ को डेजर्ट भी चाहिए. तो it's your own choice. Even with man and a woman both. Men
I think
also
that I
suffer.
agree that people may not be equal in a sense that is the condition. But I feel when it comes to things like law, when it comes to things like opportunity, social opportunity, when it comes to things like interaction in public, then we must strive for equality because it's not fair otherwise. Because then who decides कि आप
Man decides.
yeah, but then we're
Who's the judge? Mostly men.
but we're still 50% of the the population, and we're
But
traditionally
you and
we
me-
are feeding them, so we're actually playing we're playing a survival role. Up jo keh rahe ho. And I think there's a show on that also. Supposing women just say we're not going to have children anymore.
No, a lot of young girls don't want to have children.
So I think that it just to me, but it's a complicated. I think it's a complicated debate for sure.
It is.
But I'm quite.
And it will take a many centuries for things to change, but at least little bit, one drop in the ocean has
I think
fallen.
change is sitting right here.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Watch the full episode on Film Companion. Grey Goose presents Tapecast Season 2.